Hey everybody, what is going on? It is Dunbar Snack Bar with MLB 13 the show, and here we go with Game 3 of the NLDS. You can see that we lead 2-0. It's kind of nice now that I don't have the glitch to worry about, saying that I would be up 6-0 on this series if that glitch was still in effect. You'd have to go back and take a look at the last two postseason games to just kind of know what I'm talking about. But anyway, we lead the series, as I said, 2-0. So this is a must-win for the Phillies. Now, we're on the road, and Phillies fans could make this really, really tough for me. But you can see Game 1, we ended up winning that one 4-3. And in Game 2, we ended up winning that one 5-0. Mike Minor had a tremendous performance on the bump for that game. And for today, we're going to be seeing Brandon Beachy pitching for me. Now, Hamels is going to be pitching for the Phillies. He ended up pitching in Game 1. Did a pretty good job at being able to stop me here, but he's going on a couple days of rest. Now, I could have gone ahead and mirrored the exact same thing and put Medlin as my starting pitcher for today, but I decided against it because I really don't have to worry about too much right now. So we got to make sure we end up winning this one. I'd like to be able to go ahead and get the sweep because that gives me an advantage if I make it to the NLCS, because I will have swept the Phillies. I get more rest, and whoever I end up going against, well, they won't have as much rest. So it's either going to be the Reds or the Dodgers that I'll be facing here if I win this one. So I'm looking very, very closely at what's happening on the other, or in the other NLDS, and of course what's going on in the American League too. So here we go. We're going to take the field now and get this game started off. So top of the first, count is full right now to Andrelton Simmons. So with Hamels, I did a great job in Game 1 being very patient at the plate, and it pays off on the opening at bat. Simmons is going to watch ball 4. So Hamels is really going to pay for this one here because Hamels has a pretty average delivery. So I can get a pretty good jump on some of his pitches and advance on to the next base. And I'm going to be looking to do that right here with Simmons. So here I go heading for second. While it was a pretty good throw, Simmons ends up making it into second without any problems whatsoever. So that's good for me. Now I've got him in scoring position. Nobody out right now, too. So Chris Johnson or Justin Upton, who had come up after him, has a really good chance to be able to bring home a run and get an early 1-0 lead. And that pitch, man, that was right down the heart of the plate. I could have swung at that one and been perfectly content with the outcome. That's okay. 0-2 count right now to Johnson. That one is going to roll into left field. Simmons rounding third, coming home. What was I thinking? Now, granted, if that was one of the throws that were off the mark, it would have been a close play. But nope, I'm out. That was not pretty at all. All right, I was getting a little anxious right here, but Justin Upton, he is going to make some great contact with this one. The fans are getting up for it. I knew it was a home run as soon as I saw those fans standing up. So this is going to be an early 2-0 lead. If I hadn't advanced with Andrelton Simmons, it would be 3-0. So I guess there is being too aggressive on the base paths, and I just saw what happens when you get way too aggressive. But it is still the first inning, and we're up 2-0. So I am happy that we jump to this lead early on. So like I said, Hamels was the pitcher in game number 1, so I'm very acclimated here, I guess is the right word to use, with the way that he's going to be pitching. Counts full again to Hayward. He's going to get a base hit into left field. Now, I don't know what's going on right here, but Willingham just sat there and watched it roll, so we're looking at a triple for Hayward. What was that about? I would be absolutely livid if I saw my left fielder miss a ground ball and just sit there and watch somebody else run to it. No hustle whatsoever. So now we've got Hayward on third. Freeman is going to hit this one right back to Hamels, and that's going to allow Hayward to come home. So while that wasn't the greatest at bat for Freeman, the MVP, I'm going to go ahead and take it 3-0 when we get out of the top of the first. This one by Revere is going to go down the right field line. It's going to stay fair, and he's going to get a double. So that's not too pretty at all. Not how I wanted to get this game started off here by way of offense. But we've still got a ways to go. Delman Young, who has yet to get a hit in the postseason. That is not a good thing to see, considering that the Phillies had the playoff game and then the wild card game. So this is game number 5. And they still haven't been able to, or Delman Young has yet to get a hit. All right, so with Beachy, I really missed him during the middle part of the season where he was out for a couple months. But once he came back, my gosh, it was like just a huge influx of awesome, I guess, when it comes to starting pitching. Because I was really starting to see Hudson struggle on the mound. And Oswalt was giving me a few problems. I don't think I'm going to pick up Oswalt any other time here now, just after this. But when Beachy came back, and I had Dallas Braden in too, that really solidified my starting pitching rotation. So always excited to see him pitch, just because of how great it is to be able to see him pitch, knowing, man, it could be somebody else. It might not be a great game. But anyway, we escaped that inning without allowing a run. That one's going to get past Freeman, so another hit for the Phillies. That throw from Hayward over to first isn't in time. All right. So we're okay. We're just starting this inning off here. The Phillies have got a man on first. Maybe I can force something on the ground. Get a double play, but now here's Uke. I'm going to make sure that I throw this changeup really, really low, to the point where I know it's going to drop out of the strike zone. But it hangs up a little bit. Swing and a miss by Youkilis. And that's going to go ahead and end the inning. Again, we escape without allowing any runs. This one going into left field. So we've had a lot of hits in the left. I know I'm swinging a little bit early. One of the things about Hamels is the velocity on his pitches isn't that high. He's got, I'd say, among one of the lower velocities here for some of his pitches. So I can sit back and wait a little bit. So there's Justin Upton stealing second, and he was there. Wow, so much earlier than that throw even got there. 1, that was some speed. 2, it was a bad throw, but I got a great jump on that one too. So again, with another stolen base, we've got another man in scoring position. It could be an opportunity for Hayward to get yet another run. I would call him the MVP of the postseason thus far, especially what he did at the end of Game 1 with that walk-off home run. But he's going to go ahead and hit this one into center field. I thought we were going to be seeing a play made on that one, but no. So that's going to be a double for Hayward as he's safe at second. Upton only got over to third because I thought that one was going to be caught. So I made a huge mistake right there, and I was a little conservative right there on the base pass. So I got to find my balance again, but that's okay. No men out. Runners on first and second. Freddie Freeman swinging on that one really early. That looks just like Revere's double that he had earlier. So 1 run comes home. Hayward just advances from second right on over to third. So here we go again with runners on second and third. Now the Phillies are going to be going to the bullpen. This was a smart call. I was really surprised that the Phillies ended up starting the game with Hamels, considering how he pitched in Game 1. Now, while I only was able to get just a few runs in that one, I was really patient. He threw a ton of pitches in the time that he was in. And that was kind of holding true here as well. So, Rodrigo Lopez now going to be coming in here for the Phillies. It's the 3rd inning, too, so that really tells you how much I was able to get against Hamels. So, Lopez, this is his first appearance in the postseason. Still, no outs. Upton's going to watch that one for ball 1. Ended up being way too high. Now, it looks like, as far as the confidence goes in his pitches, really not that great. But that's going to go on the ground. That will allow me to bring the runner home. So we've only got a runner on second now. So Hayward makes it 5-0. Here's Brian McCann. Couple pitches after that one. Stays inside. Swing at it, but now I get the runner on over to third. So McCann getting the job done. I wish he would have gotten a hit instead, but that's all right. Now here's Dan Ugla, who's been relatively quiet in the postseason. He's going to go ahead and get a huge hit, And that is going to be the second home run of the day for the Braves as I start running through people. That's how Ugla does it. He's a ghost. Anyway, Lopez. That's really going to hurt his confidence now that we got that home run. So that expands the lead even more. The early part of this game has been completely my game. All the momentum in my favor. I don't think that the Phillies are going to be able to come back from this. 7-0 in the fourth inning? No. Anyway, 1-0 count. Well, a great play right there by Rollins to try and get that one. Simmons is going to be able to get on first as that slides right by him. Now, I didn't see this happen too much during the regular season. I'm kind of sad to see it now, but Rollins is going to be hurt. How long he's going to be out? Well, the rest of the season maybe if this game continues to go this way. So that's not really how you want to end your season, though, with like an injury, especially in what could be the last game for you. But Michael Young, of course, coming in now. So Simmons on first, not going to try and steal right there. Chris Johnson, that one's going to go off of the wall. Pretty close to a home run, but because I thought that was going over the wall, I didn't even think about advancing Andrelton Simmons. So I have really been playing poor when it comes to base running here today. But a huge hit. Is this one going to be enough? No, it's not. That time, I'm advancing my runners. So one run comes home. Oh, got to get back. Whew. Close one. All right. So Hayward helping me out. It's 8-0 now in the fourth inning. Now, during the regular season, when I was playing the Phillies, I really had no problem against them at all. In fact, the team that I had the most runs and I had the best games against by far was the Phillies. So I'm not surprised that we're having this type of game. Game one kind of surprised me that we were going to go into extra innings. By the way, error right there for Andrelton Simmons. But no, I was absolutely surprised that we were going to play them in the NLDS right here. Because it was really interesting. Like, I ended up beating them in the last game of the regular season for me. And that tied them up with the Nationals for the wild card spot. Then the two teams faced off against each other. The Phillies beat the Nationals. And then the wild card game against the Giants, Phillies won again. I haven't seen an E1 like that. All right, well, I get on first right there. B.J. Upton will get on over to second as McCann hits that one right through the middle part of the infield. So that'll put runners on first and second for the Braves. Might be able to get some more runs out of this here. 2-0 count now to Ugla, who had that home run earlier today. That one's going to go down the left field line. B.J. Upton's going to round third, come home. Ugla's going for the double, and McCann's heading on over to third. He'll slide and end up being safe. So another run. Two more runners in scoring position now for Andrelton Simmons. This is looking nice. That one's going to get right past third, head on over into left. One more run. And that puts runners on first and second now for the Braves. So, Lopez has come in, and he's not doing any better than Hamels did. So, makes you kind of wonder, what are the Phillies going to do next? Because nobody is getting warm. And I'm so surprised by that. Or at least I haven't seen anybody getting warm. All right, Ugla comes home on that one. I'm glad that throw was off a little bit, too. 11-0, top of 8. Jason Hayward comes to the plate. 8 plate. I just rhymed again. Home run. That reminds me of that walk-off that he had earlier in game one. Man, that was awesome. I didn't get too many home runs like that throughout this year, where as soon as it goes off of the bat, you know that it's gone. Don't get me wrong, I got my fair share of home runs, but I never saw anything like those ones, at least not that often. All right, so it's 12-0 now. Phillies have to face the music, realizing that they're not going to be able to come back and get 12 runs in this short amount of time. Beachy still in here in the 9th inning. There's really no point with me going to my bullpen because, well, one, Beachy's going to get rested up before he has to pitch again. Plus 2, if something happens where I end up playing sooner than I would expect, I want to make sure my bullpen has enough rest to be able to keep playing. But look at that, 82 pitches. That's really, really good when you're in the bottom of the 9th. Wow. And Beachy obviously has the stamina to be able to go into the 9th inning here too. But that one's going to get fouled off here. 0-2 count now. So the thing that I've really enjoyed about Beachy today has been the amount of strikeouts that he's had. He's got 10 right now throughout the game. And I've only been able to show you one very early on. But he's done great. And a lot of them have been coming off that pitch, the cutter. So I can't wait until I go ahead and I integrate that into Kevin Millar's set of pitches too. The cutter's going to be awesome. All right, so there's one out. Next pitch on the ground to Ugla. Charges it and makes the throw over to Freeman to get the out. We're just one out away. Again, I'm not expecting 12 runs in one out. Beachy only allowing, I think, 2 hits on the day, 3 base runners total, because I had that one error from Simmons, who will pick that one up and make the throw to first. Game is over. The Braves advance. So we end up sweeping the Phillies, which is what I had been anticipating. And this was actually a pretty good series for me. I've gotten progressively better. Remember, game 1 was a walk-off home run in like the 13th inning. Then it was 5-0, and now this one's 12-0. So my starting pitchers, my gosh, have they had a great time here in this postseason already. And I'm really excited to see what's going to happen as we face the Dodgers. The Dodgers end up beating the Reds. I think it was, it took game 5 for them to be able to do that. But that's going to be tough. Greinke, Kershaw, going to have to face them as well as some great hitters too. But anyway, thanks for watching this, you guys. I sure do appreciate it. More of this to come later on, so make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, all that great jazz. But you guys are phenomenal people. You really are. Thanks again. And as always, I hope you guys have a good one.